Hey guys, it's Pixelman 1001, and I have a very interesting collection video here for you. This is my Dark Crystal and Labyrinth DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K collection. I do have some VHS versions as well. I'm not going to show those, but like I have the one I got from a friend of the family. That was the I think it's a 1988 or 1990 tape. I think it was 1988. I think it was from HBO Video. It had the original poster artwork on it, and it had the Weintraub Entertainment logo on the bottom. And also have the 1994 VHS of the Dark Crystal. I don't have any of the original VHS of Labyrinth, like whether it be the Embassy, like from like Embassy, Nelson, or New Line. But I do have both the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth on their 1999 VHSs too. But that's not what this is about. This is about like when I do these collections, it's the modern, like the disc-based formats. So, what I'm going to start with here are the initial DVD releases from 1999. So these ones, like I said, these were released in 1999, October 1999. And the way these came were in these just regular cases here. The Dark Crystal was a special edition, while Labyrinth was not. So let's take a look inside these. I'll show the spine of the Dark Crystal version. Both of these, there's no Columbia TriStar Home Video logo on the spine. But there is a Jim Henson Home Entertainment logo at the top. There's the back. The Dark Crystal is fantastic, as stated by Boston Globe. So it's got digitally remastered audio and anamorphic video. Deluxe widescreen presentation. For the audio, it's got a English 5.1 Dolby Digital and 2-channel Dolby Surround, as well as a Spanish track in mono and subtitles in English and Spanish. And it's also got the so that's the specifications there. It's also got the World of the Dark Crystal making of documentary, original language work print scenes, deleted funeral scenes. Basically the original language work print scenes. The Skeksis, the main villains in this, were not supposed to speak English. They were initially going to speak their own language, so they included those on there, like the original work print versions. And then deleted funeral scenes, which are deleted funeral scenes. Yeah, which, like I said, are the sorry, I'm just kind of brain fucked today. The Emperor's funeral. They deleted that scene from the movie, so character drawings and profiles, which are kind of cool. And then we have an isolated music score. Which that's the thing that's unique about this one. Yeah, you can watch the movie with just the music score and no sound effects or no sound effects and no dialogue or anything like that. So we also have the theatrical trailer. The original theatrical trailers. They had the American trailer, the European trailer, and the teaser trailer on here, which is cool. And then also bonus trailers for both Labyrinth and the Storyteller, as well as some talent files, which are just like just like little filmography. You can get all that stuff on IMDb now, so that's kind of redundant. And some production notes. And then the production notes, they're not on the disc, I don't think. They're inside this booklet. I always loved when Sony used to do that, like Columbia used to do that. But there's the disc artwork, quite nice. And inside we got this booklet. So you read that part first, I think, and then yeah, I'm just pausing it so you can read it. I'm not going to read all that. I think I did a video on TikTok years ago, or not years ago, a couple years ago, where I did that. A dazzling technological and artistic achievement. Very true. I do think this probably is Jim Henson's crowning achievement, definitely. Like, it's such a harrowing production, like such a complicated everything I had to go through. Sorry, I'm shaky. This was, I think this might have been Frank Oz's first director credit, but it wasn't his first solo directorial debut. That was Muppets Take Manhattan. The Dark Crystal is fantastic. Very true. That's a weird way to spell prophecy. You see with the CY at the end instead of an SY. That's very weird. If anyone knows anyone who ever spelled it like that, let me know. And then here we have Labyrinth. I like how it blends because the Dark Crystal is sort of the dark one, and then the Labyrinth is sort of the lighter one. I think it kind of blends in well. I couldn't wish for a movie with more imagination or fun, stated by Leonard Maltin, the legend himself. The only real special feature on here is the Inside the Labyrinth making of documentary. And, but it does include it's widescreen, subtitles in English and Spanish. The audio is only the only English 2-channel Blu-ray surround, so this one doesn't have, you can only watch it in English, and it's 2-channel, which is Matrix surround. Not Matrix like the Matrix, like Neo and Morpheus and Trinity, but matrixed. It's a term. It means basically like it's sort of virtual surround, like it's 2 channels, but it's virtually broken up to sort of simulate a surround sound experience. Yeah. And then it has theatrical trailers, like theatrical trailer for that movie, as well as trailers for the Dark Crystal and Storyteller. And if you don't know what the Storyteller is, we'll get to that in a little bit, because it's not as well known as Dark Crystal or Labyrinth. It is to people like me, like fantasy fans and Jim Henson fans. But also got talent files and of course, interactive menus. And scene selections are listed as special features. That's kind of shows how far we've come. Like how that's just standard now. Even a copyright for the Inside the Labyrinth documentary was produced by BBC, so they copyright BBC there. And then there's the disc. The inside booklet. Like, even just for the bare bones of that, this was still good for the time. Like, it was, would have been nice if they had done a special edition like the Dark Crystal, but yeah. That's so true. Is it all a dream, like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland or Dorothy's and the Wizard of Oz? In my mind it is, but it's all rather ambiguous. Dream or reality? Fantasy or fact? It's whatever you like to make it, wherever it takes you to. As stated by Jim Henson. And that's very true. And this one was directed by Jim Henson himself, so that's good. Lots of great people. Yeah, Terry Jones wrote the screenplay for this, and of course, yeah, late David Bowie, always iconic. Oh, Terry Jones is late too, and Jim Henson, but yeah, that's George Lucas and Brian Fowler are still alive. So the baby, by the way, was actually the kid of Brian Froud, Toby Froud, and he's now a puppeteer. I just noticed the kid is drooling there. Yeah, I remember the Toby Froud, though, as a grown adult, he did a video where he and a bunch of the Labyrinth puppets did like the magic dance song. It was kind of cool. And of course, Jennifer Connelly is definitely great in this movie. Though when you look at the overtones in this, it's kind of weird because, yeah, she's like 16 in this, and he seems like the dance he has with her, like a pop. I don't know how old David, but I think it was in like his 30s at that point. But yeah, like the dance they share. I heard apparently she wasn't a huge David Bowie fan, because I think that would have made it even more nerve-wracking and harder to act if she had been a huge fan and got to dance with him on screen. That would have been way, not awkward, but like more nerve-wracking. Like it would have been, because she's so starstruck or whatever. Now, I do also have another set of these that's the exact same discs inside that have updated covers. Those are the ones I had during childhood, though. But I wanted the original case versions to show here, so. Or I just happened to find them, so. But I do have those also. I'm just not going to show those today, though. Now, next we have 2 other different ones here. Same cover artwork here, but you can see these ones are the Superbit versions. Now, You're probably wondering, what is Superbit? Now, Superbit is basically just a DVD. It is pretty much more marketing fluff, but really, I've seen a difference between Superbit and regular DVDs. It's not the same as high definition. It's not high definition. It's still standard definition, like 480i, 480p, whatever. But it's just the bitrate is higher. Basically, what they do is, it says Superbit DVDs utilize a high bitrate digital transfer process that optimizes video quality and offers both DTS and 5.1 Dolby Digital audio. All Superbit DVDs are in widescreen presentations in the original language. All other languages are subtitled. So yeah, basically they take off all the bonus features and just have the movie. Or for the most part, this is. Just have the movie, and like a static menu, the original language audio in both Dolby Digital and DTS, and any... So, like, for example, like, Das Boot was in Superbit format as well, and I'm pretty sure that one only has the German audio. But English, you can listen to the subtitles. But yeah, all other languages are subtitled. And I always prefer to watch things in their original language, so... But yeah, it's all their languages that are included are subtitled. So, and the way that if they maximize the disk space, that means the picture quality that can then sound way better. So, or can look way better because it's more like it's again the resolution and bitrate are two different things. Like Blu-ray and HD DVD whatever have a much higher bitrate and resolution to Superbit, but at the time like Superbit. Like, I think you had to have a good TV, but there's quite a few Superbits, like Spider-Man 2 especially. That movie on Superbit, I could definitely see a difference there. Like, I haven't actually watched these ones on Superbits, so I'm not sure how much they differ from the original, but I'll have to do like I do with Spider-Man, do like a side-by-side comparison. I'm sure they're better, though, but yeah. I've heard that, like, these use the same transfer as the or like the same like source, like the same source material as these ones, same source copy, but yet they just up the bitrate. So these are released in March of 2003, by the way. The discs are usually red, and then inside usually you have the insert. They just have the cover on the front, and then the back they list the Superbit, and they list all these Superbits. But inside we also got a pamphlet about Superbit and Superbit Deluxe. Super sound, super clear. The evolution of DVD. Now this is the quote that's the most honest here from Tom Norton of Stereophile Guide to the Home Theater. True high definition on DVD is still in the future, but Superbit is a tantalizing and rewarding step in the right direction. And that's true. So basically, that guy really saying like it's not. Don't be fooled. It's not high definition on DVD, but it's a good thing to tide us over until that comes out. So some of the titles you could get at the time included From Here to Eternity, Das Boot, the director's cut, Legends of the Fall, 7 Years in Tibet, The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, Heavy Metal, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Air Force One, Desperado, Johnny Mnemonic, The Fifth Element, Gattaca, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Vertical Limit, Anaconda, The Big Hit, A Knight's Tale, The Patriot, Hollow Man, Heavy Metal 2000, The Mask of Zorro, Snatch, Panic Room, which wasn't really a standard Superbit DVD. That one was only Superbit, but it wasn't even the same kind of thing. Like it still had a theatrical trailer on it, but the menus were not static. Whatever, it didn't have the blue thing. Yeah, at that point you could only get Panic Room and Superbit, and then Resident Evil and Tommy. So. Yeah, I remember a lot of these sort of artsy movies and like artsy film movies, like Adaptation, Punch Drunk Love, stuff like that. They would come out only Superbit as well, which was interesting. So, now here's Labyrinth. Again, it came out the same day. I don't know why it's sort of crusty there or something. I don't know. And I like the back cover. This back cover hasn't been on anything else, just so it's kind of cool. Like these images, I've never seen them on any other Blu-ray, DVD editions, or whatever. selection, there it is, and then again the same flyer. I don't know if I showed that to here, but it talks about exactly how does it work. And then in like the 2003, 2004, it's like November 2003 for Dark Crystal, like February 2004 for Labyrinth. They put out these nice collector's edition gift sets. I don't like how the Labyrinth one is a different size, though it's a better size to put on a DVD shelf. Like the Dark Crystal one is way too big to do that, so I keep these together sort of on a separate shelf where it's more open-ended. Same transfers inside, but the discs themselves are different because they have some new content on them. And I'll go over, these actually do have goodies in them too. So we have a note from Cheryl Henson, daughter of Jim Henson. Read that. Then we have this little Cenotype. It's like not a direct film reel, but like it's because it's not stretched anamorphic thing. So it's like they took the digital remastering and put it on a film itself. It's just a cool collectible. But yeah. And I'll try to put up here so you can see. I'm not ready to go alone. Alright, alone then. Yeah, like a very iconic image. And that's the image right there. Same one right there. They did a similar thing like that in my Spider-Man gift set. Then here's a reproduction of Jim Henson's notepad where he was developing ideas for the film. It's printed on there, it's not actually written, but still, it's very cool. It's a reproduction. Very cool collectible to have. And then, here's the disc. Very nice sort of sketch design there of one of the Skeksis. But I keep this in here. This talks about the forward is actually, when you say like a forward, like in a book, it's usually spelled Foreword. Like, forward is, I'm going forward, I'm going backward, like that kind of thing, yeah. So, in this edition, the things that are all new in this. So they have, or from the old release, we have, of course, the World of Dark Crystal documentary, original language work print scenes, deleted funeral scenes, character drawings, profiles, again, theatrical trailers for the film, and then also a bonus trailer for Labyrinth. There's no Storyteller one on here. And then some talent files. I just got digitally remastered audio and anamorphic video, deluxe widescreen, subtitles in English and Spanish. Again, the same audio tracks. We have English 5.1 Dolby Digital, English Dolby Surround, and Spanish Mono. So, yeah, it's cool. And, but all new, only on this edition. And pretty much all these are only on this edition. We have the Mythra treatment, Jim Henson's original treatment of the film. Which, like, it's just a bunch of text on a menu. You have to keep clicking and clicking, so it's kind of... Yeah, I can see why they didn't include that, but still, it's a cool thing to have. As well as some character illustrations and some storyboards, which are different than the character drawings and profiles, so... Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think those features you can only get on this edition, so... And with the collectibles, this one is definitely worth having for any fan. Definitely a very nice set. And then the Labyrinth one is not quite as nice, but still, it's a nice one in any way. Exclusive collectibles inside. Now, unfortunately, the glue came off. It was not that strong, so I gotta be careful when I open it. There we go. So inside here we got the disc with the baby. We have the collector's edition booklet, which looks like the weird staircase thing. It's hard to open here, but it has some cool artwork inside. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but yeah. Some sketches. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I gotta get that glued back on or something. Then we have what we call a scene composite, which shows the original green screen, the background with the green screen footage over it. It's a cool because that's the background, and the Bog of Eternal Stench, and that's the green screen footage they used of the Chili Down song. And then we've got some pieces of artwork here. You can put them this way, I don't know whether. This one is Hortense, Gibbergeist, Gertie, Zitzi, Septimus, and Muskull. And here's the insert that would have come on the back. All new, only on this edition. We have a over 100 full gallery images, including behind the scenes, cast, characters, concept art, and also a vintage poster gallery, some storyboards, and also the Dolby Digital 5.1 soundtrack, which is new for that one. Previously, it had only been a 2 channel. The other features we have the Inside the Labyrinth making a featurette, as well as trailers for Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal and the Talon Files. And also the thing, menu, scene selections, remastered in high definition. And then widescreen presentation, subtitles English, Spanish. Yeah, they list that. So yeah. Definitely I'm gonna put all this artwork back now. And all this stuff. Yeah, definitely not as much of a fan of the packaging of this one as I am for the Dark Crystal one, because this one's kind of small, but it is a better size to put on your shelf, though. I'll say that. I also don't have the UMD for PSP versions of them, and there also was another set of editions from 2007. That were the anniversary editions. They had cool lenticular slipcovers. I don't have those because before I bought these things that have all the features from those, but they're on Blu-ray. This is the Blu-ray. Same covers too. These Blu-rays were released. Those DVD versions were in August 2007. These Blu-rays were in September of 2009. Very nice Blu-ray editions, though. These were for a while the main ways to watch the movie. These were great. But yeah, all the stuff that is exclusive to Blu-ray was not on those 2007 releases, but the other stuff was. So we'll start with the Dark Crystal here. So for this one, the specifications, we have English, French, Portuguese, Dolby True HD 5.1, and Spanish 5.1. Subtitles, we have English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and also English SDH, which is like a closed captioning. Basically, I don't know what the specifications were on those 2007 DVDs, but I know they did have a higher bit rate, like a better transfer than I think even the Superbit ones actually. They were a new transfer, looked a lot better, and they had extra. So like even more special features. That's nice. But this one though has all. So basically, the ones that were on that release, we have a commentary with Brian Froud, The World of the Dark Crystal, which is The World of the Dark Crystal, which is that same one that was on the original DVD, as well as the original Skeksis language scenes and deleted funeral scenes. But the new stuff besides commentary, we also have reflections of the Dark Crystal, which includes Light on the Path of Creation and Shard of Illusion. So those are the two big things. I think everything from that 2007 DVD is here. And Blu-ray exclusives, we have some like interactive things. We have the Book of Thra, Dark Crystal Collector, Skektex Crystal Challenge, and then picture-in-picture storyboard track, as well as an introduction by screenwriter David Odell on the original Skeksis language. it's cool they got artwork in there too. Now, unfortunately, the disc here. That's why these Ecolite Vortex cases are not good. You see how scratched that is. It's a Blu-ray, for Christ's sake, so maybe I should stick it in a better case or something. But yeah. Then here's Labyrinth. This Labyrinth is so Muppety that even its editor's name is Grover. As Honest Trailers would say. And this one was, again, 1080p high definition. Audio, English, French, Portuguese, Dolby Digital, True HD 5.1, and then Spanish, Latin America, Spanish Dolby Digital 5.1. As well as English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and English SDH. And special features on here, we have the commentary with Brian Froud, a making of documentary inside the Labyrinth, as well as a journey through the Labyrinth kingdom of characters and the quest for the Goblin City, and commentary with Brian Froud. So all the stuff that was new on these was not carried over to the both the 2007 DVDs and these Blu-rays, because they used these ones as a base for what to include. So yeah. A lot of that stuff was, sort of, if you had the collector's edition, you wanted the new DVDs or Blu-ray or whatever, you had to keep the old ones, so expect those collector's editions, so. Yeah, you didn't really need to keep the ones that were these, unless you wanted the isolated score. But I just have them because they're nice to have, so, yeah. They were dirt cheap. Like, a lot of these things, if they weren't dirt cheap now, thanks to the streaming wars, I wouldn't be buying as many. Which, honestly, as someone who likes physical media, I still think that might be a good thing, actually, so, because running out of money, running out of space, so. Anyways, there's the artwork there. Very nice. So that's those. Now, there was an edition of Labyrinth in 2016. And I technically do have that, but I'll explain it in a little bit. It was a Blu-ray. It was a 4K, a Blu-ray and 4K set. There was even a DVD version, a counterpart of that too. The Blu-ray version had special features, and the 4K version had the movie in 4K on just the disc. And then that Blu-ray disc was also included, and that had all the special features on it. And that had some new stuff too, so that's interesting. So, but I don't have that release, but I do technically have it. But you'll see why in a little bit. But I will show off first my 4K edition of The Dark Crystal. This would have been a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, but I actually found this at Sunrise Records. I got this back in 2020 after Christmas. I remember I bought the We're Doing a Best of the Muppets CD, Blue's Clues and You, Caring with Blue, the live action Kim Possible, and this with some of my Christmas money. So yeah. In fact, my Sunrise Records location actually still has a big poster for the live action Kim Possible. Right above its 4K section. For some reason, they have never taken that down in the last, 6 years. 6 years since that came out. Jeez, I am not able to fathom the fact that 2015 as well was 10 years ago. And that 2018, which I consider sort of the best year of my life, one of the best years of my life, if not the best, is closer to 10 years ago than it was to, it's closer to 10 years ago than it was to 0 years ago, so. And pretty soon, next year, it'll be closer to 10 years ago than it was to 5 years ago, so. But anyways. But this came out in March 2018, this release. That Labyrinth one came out in, I think, September 2016. It was for the 30th anniversary. This one would have been the 35th anniversary, but they didn't release it in 2017. They just did it in 2018, so it was a bit delayed, but still. Disney does that all the time, and I love the artwork on this. And this 4K transfer is one of the best I've ever seen. Don't need to worry about the digital copy. I never used it, but because it was ultraviolet. It's only ultraviolet, and ultraviolet closed down. I lost a shit ton of movies. Excuse my language, but yeah. I gotta stop my habit of swearing. Ooh, an ad here for the ultimate visual history of the Dark Crystal. Lots of it's a cool book. This was also around the time, though, that Age of Resistance was announced, so yeah. Dark Crystal board game. I still haven't ever watched Age of Resistance. I guess I'm not into I find a lot of times TV shows like the Marvel ones and the Star Wars ones to sit down and watch them, like sort of these epic TV shows, it's definitely a chore. I feel like it's definitely more of a chore to sit down, whereas watching a movie is not. And that's why I like stuff like how the only modern like shows I like now or that I watch now are like for example, even though I don't like modern Family Guy as much as older Family Guy, I still do watch it every time a new one comes out because it's just good as background noise, one thing. But like the only show as of recent years that I've really been engaged with and like having to watch every episode when it comes out was The Really Loud House. So, and now that's over. Now that's over. I don't have any other ones to do that with. So, some might come along eventually. You never know. So, but yeah, but that's why like I feel like I never could get into a lot of these shows. I prefer a lot of these ideas that are shows. I prefer if they were movies, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi spinoff. I started to watch it and it was all right, but I stopped watching it because it felt like a chore to have to make time to watch it. And I would have preferred if Obi-Wan had his own film, like spin-off film instead of a TV show. But anything to increase those Disney Plus subscriptions. It's another note from Lisa Henson this time. So it's nice. And also I have my ticket stub for when I went to see... Okay, this is my Super Mario Brothers movie ticket stub. I don't know why that's in there, but... I'm never planning to buy the Super Mario Brothers movie, but I guess I just keep that in there as a random thing. I'm gonna keep that in something different, like maybe, definitely. I'll probably keep that in a different movie when I put this back. So, I thought it was my ticket stub from when I went to the Dark Crystal in 2016, but it's not. So, I remember I went to the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. They played them both the same day, which is nice. There's the 4K. It's just the film on there, and then the Blu-ray, which has all the special features. And the artwork inside this is phenomenal. Very iconic shot. So let me just put these back. Yeah, just stick that in there for now. I just don't want to lose that, so... Yeah. Now, since it's a steelbook, I keep the backing separately, but I do have it, right? I keep them all in a drawer, sort of. Like, I have a drawer in my room where I keep some video games, and I keep my backings of, like, steelbooks and box sets. So I have this here, and it'll tell you what's in here. Now, for the specifications on the 4K version, like, the only specifications that are on the 4K, it's, audio, you have Dolby Atmos, which is also Dolby True HD 7.1 compatible. French and Spanish 5.1 double digital, as well as subtitles in English, French and Spanish, and also English SDH. Now, the Blu-ray also includes, so all new special feature on Blu-ray, The Dark Crystal, Myth, Magic, and the Henson Legacy. Blu-ray also includes deleted scenes, commentary with Brian Froud, picture-in-picture storyboard track, original sketches, language scenes with introduction, World of the Dark Crystal, reflections of the Dark Crystal, which includes that Light of the Path of Creation and Chart of Illusion, and photo galleries and more. So I think pretty much everything from the Blu-ray is on here, so that's nice. This is definitely the definitive edition to own currently, or at least as of now, because I know that there's Shout Factory put out their own versions too. But Shout Factory, Sony, after 25 years in 2020, in the beginning of 2024. Sony Pictures announced that, Shout Factory announced they acquired distribution rights to Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, including select theatrical rights, whatever, probably due to contracts with Universal and TriStar, respectively, as well as, digital, physical, television, whatever. So Shout Factory is pretty much the de facto distributor for these films now. Shout Studio, excuse me, because they used to be Shout Factory. They're still Shout Factory in my mind. So, anyways, and these Sony ones, I heard that the new one has Dolby Vision, this one doesn't, but I think this one looked pretty darn good, and I don't really know the difference, honestly, so they're I'm not a 4K aficionado. I buy mostly newer movies in 4K. I bought a handful of older ones. Because that's the thing, anything before anything that was released on, prior to DVD in its first run, like anything that was on VHS only or whatever, it doesn't matter to me whether I get it on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K or whatever. But, I have to have a DVD version of DVD-era movies. Blu-ray era, I have to have the Blu-ray. 4K era, I have to have at least the 4K or the Blu-ray. Yeah. So that's how it goes for that. That's why I do have many movies from pre-DVD era on DVD, but some over here, like, as you can see, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Lady Hawk, Princess Bride, stuff like that, I have on just Blu-ray, and some of them, like Ferris Bueller, Mask of the Phantasm, Halloween, I have on just 4K, so. But anyways. But this one, of course, is one I bought many, many times, so I have this on pretty much all those formats, so. Yeah. But this is definitely the best edition. This is the one I watch whenever I want to watch the movie. So, I should probably do that sometime. Pretty soon. So remember, when we got our new soundbar, I used Labyrinth to test that, the opening music number, and it really stood out so much. But speaking of Labyrinth, like I said, here is Labyrinth. This is the 35th anniversary edition, which came out in 2021. I think it was like October. I remember the date when I bought this, I was working in my the downtown core of my city, or rather, the city beside my city. Yeah. Basically, I was working in Halifax. Like I'm a resident of in Halifax Regional Municipality. I'm a resident of the city of Dartmouth, but I work in Halifax, or I worked in Halifax. So, the local record store, which was near my work, I went in there and they had this, so I bought it on one of my lunch breaks. I went in to buy it on one of my lunch breaks. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good price too. Like, it was cheaper to buy it there. Like, it was a new release, but it was cheaper to buy it there than it was to buy it at other places. So very nice. And I know the artwork usually would hang out of this, but I actually put it in like this because it looks a lot nicer and it's a lot more durable. And this one, again, the audio, Dolby Atmos and Dolby True HD 7.1 compatible, as well as English and French 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio, English 2.0 DTS HD Master Audio, and Spanish 5.1 Dolby Digital, and subtitles English, French, and Spanish, and English SDH. And now what's interesting is that the 4K in this has the 4K movie and only the features that were new to this release. So it's a new 4K disc. It's not the same one from 2016. It's a brand new one with new features on it. Because I skipped out on the 2016 one. But it has deleted an alternate scene oubliette. Over 25 minutes of never seen lost in alternate scenes with all new commentary from Brian Henson, And Sarah's screen test, collection of rare original screen tests for the role of Sarah, which are kind of cool. And then the Blu-ray edition is inside here is actually the label's different, but it's the same one that was included in the 2016 copy. So we have Reordering Time, looking back at Labyrinth, the Henson Legacy, Remembering the Goblin King, and Labyrinth Anniversary Q&A. And from the older one, the older release, we have the Storyteller's Picture-in-Picture track, commentary by conceptual designer Brian Froud, making of documentary Inside the Labyrinth, Journey Through Labyrinth, Kingdom of Characters, and Quest for Goblin City, which were, again, from that older release, and then theatrical trailers. So yeah, this was definitely a good release too. I'm not sure if anyone has the Shout Factory releases. Let me know if any of the bonus features from these releases I showed here are missing or whatever. So the slipcover off. Okay, with that digital version included, I redeemed that. And though probably I'm not sure if it's even on my account anymore though, because like I said, Shout Factory now has the rights. So yeah, nowadays in Canada they haven't been, at least for Sony, which includes Disney as well, and Lionsgate, and I think Criterion Collection, they also autonomously distribute as well. They haven't been including digital copies in movies. It says watch 4K UHD movies on PS5. A lot of the Blu-rays I have from like the 2021, like 2021 and 2022 season, that era, like the sort of the end of COVID, that it had that sticker on it. Even my Columbia Classics Volume 2 set has that as well, or had that originally, I think. You watch 4K. I don't have a PS5. I'm not really planning to get a PS5. I realize that I don't think I need it. So, and I'm not even gonna wait to get one. I just kind of don't want to get one. I don't know why. I just want to focus on, because I only have so much money and so much time to do things. I want to get out in the world and help and start making movies. And what my life is now, honestly, doing stuff like this is not helping me. At least, like I hope I entertain my viewers. So. But I definitely hope to get out into the world and actually start working, and hopefully work with some of the actors that I really love all the B-listers, or not B-listers, but like the working actors, I should call them, because calling them B-listers is kind of, insulting. But yeah, the different things. And I want to be able to, like, sort of like how Quentin Tarantino does that. He cast a lot of the actors that he was a fan of that were not maybe as well known, but... And here's another note inside here. It's in a book form this time. Some script pages. Like, I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but it's some cool... So here, look how this book, though, looks like the book she has in the movie that she reads called The Labyrinth. And then... Lots of nice artwork, though. And then, again, the digital code's already used. And then we have Labyrinth collectible lapel pins. And also a Ready Steady Worm game. That's cool. Can also get, Labyrinth, the adventure game. Looks like the book. So there's the 4K disc with Jareth and Sarah. I always thought it was Jared at first, but it's Jareth. So yeah, and then here's the Blu-ray. Just a reprint of the 2016 disc with a new label, so... So there we go. But there's gonna be a second first so I can put this all back. But that's not it, because I also have a few other Jim Henson fantasy titles too. First up, we have both incarnations of the Storyteller. Storyteller was a series that initially ran in the UK on like Channel 4. First season from like 1987 88 was like old folk tales starring John Hurt as the storyteller. He'd sit by the fireplace and tell old folk tales like from different cultures, and with the sidekick was a dog voiced by Brian Henson. And then the second one was this was 9 episodes. This was a series of 4 episodes, a miniseries, where they told a bunch of Greek myths. This is from 1990. Yeah, they did various Greek myths in this. And they're told by Michael Gambon. So yeah, but definitely both great shows. Well, they're technically the same show, so yeah, but I like the sort of... Yeah, so I'll start with the first one. Contains all 9 episodes. And I don't know exactly what the names of the episodes are, but I'm pretty sure they are out of order on here. There's the disc and the... concept are there. Now, I'm pretty sure the episode list on here, I'm not 100% sure what the episodes are, what order they're on, but I think there's like a... Yeah, they're all here. There's none missing. They're all in the wrong order, so just look it up yourself if you want to find an episode list. So I don't have time. I should have done a episode list before I made the video, but anyways. But this one I can tell you, though. This is Greek Myths. And the thing about this one, the order that they're played in on here is actually the reverse of how they're supposed to be viewed. Theseus and the Minotaur comes first, then Perseus and the Gorgon, then Orpheus and Eurydice, then Daedalus and Icarus. But the order they play them in on here is backwards, so... Like, if you press play, like, you want to watch in order, you gotta pick them out individually, so... Yeah, and here's only English stereo, but yeah, great, definitely, again, a great series. I actually kind of like the Greek Myths one even better, maybe because I always was more of a fan of Greek mythology in general than I was of folktales, but still, folktales are awesome. Look for these great films on DVD. We have Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal, The Storyteller, and Kind of the Prophecy. That the first one, I don't have the insert there, but the original insert would have included to look for Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and I think it was Krull. Was the one? I think it was Krull. Talks about each episode there. So yeah, if you like The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, you'll definitely love The Storyteller. And then last one we got here is one that they greenlit as sort of to be a spiritual successor to Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, like at the whim of because when Dark Crystal and Labyrinth sold so well on DVD, Sony Pictures wanted to team up with the Jim Henson Company to make another movie that they could sell direct to video as sort of a third pillar in that. So they got Neil Gaiman, who's now disgraced, but to write the screenplay, and Dave McKean to direct it and do the visuals and stuff. And it was animated by a bunch of students that were just fresh out of college on like a budget of I think only like $1 million, which was not big for the time. It was supposed to go straight to video. But they screened it at a high school and it got a positive response there. So then they decided to put it in film festivals, got a positive response. So instead they decided to give it a limited theatrical release, which they did in September 2005. But then in February 2006 they put it out on DVD. And the Blu-ray MirrorMask actually is so hard to find. Like, it was only in print for very quickly, and it goes for like collector's prices on eBay. Whereas the DVD, while the DVD itself was later put out of print, you could still get it within the Jim Henson Fantasy Film Collection box set. So it wasn't that hard to get a hold of. Now that collection's out of print because of Shout Factory changing over, it's going to become hard to find again. So I'm glad I have a copy. But this movie, is not. I don't think it's really good as a successor to Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, but it's great as its own standalone, sort of artsy weird fantasy movie. Definitely if you like that kind of thing. I was just gonna say something, but yeah, this movie is to Labyrinth what Zathura is to Jumanji, basically. And what's ironic is that there's one of the trailers on this DVD is for Zathura, so nice working screen candy, a gorgeous effects-driven fantasy flick. Lots of special features there. Since this one was actually co-produced by Destination Films, a division of Sony. Sony retains this, so yeah. Be nice if they could license this to Shout Studios, though, and do a new release of this, especially on Blu-ray. But anyways, I remember watching Zaire Nizerak's video of his coworker gave him his whole DVD collection. And he said that his coworker only ever bought one movie on Blu-ray, and that was MirrorMask. So there's the disc there. I'll close that later. But we also have MirrorMask on UMD for PSP. As you can see, it's just the same cover, but they squeezed it to fit on there. There's so much going on the cover. No special features, but it does have the whole movie, which is nice. And there's some artwork in here, too. There's Valentine. Jason Barry, who you might recognize from Titanic. Very nice artwork here. Talks about you could win a computer and enter for a chance to win a Sony VAIO notebook or UMD video. SonyPictures.com/UMD/survey. And tell us what you think about movies for PSP. Then it says, basically, if you like this, we recommend Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal. I don't have either of those, but I have the two on the bottom, which are Ghostbusters and Spider-Man, the new animated series, The Mutant Menace. I might do a collection of some animated Spider-Man stuff or animated Marvel stuff at some point. That could be cool. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my thing that's 12 minutes short of an hour of all my Dark Crystal and Labyrinth and other Jim Henson fantasy collection. I do have one that's also Jim Henson, it's not fantasy, but it does heavily utilize the Creature Shop, which is Buddy. Okay, I have that it's not in my main collection. I didn't really care for that movie, but I have it as that General Mills DVD that they did of it back in 2002 as part of that line of DVDs that General Mills put out in cereal boxes that were Columbia. 3 of them were Henson related. Only one of them wasn't, which was Jackie Chan Adventures. A couple episodes of that, so yeah. So that's interesting. I remember I had a dream at one point that they did the movie Oliver as well, and I figured if there had been a fourth wave, it would have been cool if they had Dragon Tales, Elmo and Grouchland, Three Ninjas Hiding at Mega Mountain, and Oliver is the thing. But instead of Oliver, it probably would have been Madeline or something. So yeah. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the collection. Tell me which editions you have of the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Anyways, take care. Peace.